Well, hello everybody. Leo here. It would appear as though Leo has a little conundrum, doesn't it? Looks that way, don't it? Actually, he don't. That's what he's doing today. Leo is up to something again. What's he doing? He's always doing something weird. What's he doing today? Well, I'll tell you. Some of you may remember a video I did a couple weeks ago, whatever. I went fishing to this little place, had these real big, beautiful stone piles of stones, large boulders halfway across the river, and had an opening in the center. And it's a really good spot to go fishing and camping. The only thing I don't like about it is you have to park on the other side of a busy 4-lane highway, carry your stuff across the highway and down a steep hill to get to this spot. Now you can see where, some people been, this summer at least, have been through here on side-by-sides and things, but we have a little bit of a problem right here. But I brought the solution. You see, I checked this out the other day and was kind of trying to get an idea of how I would, if I could, get the Can-Am back down through there, and that way I could come down and I could tent camp in this really awesome spot, and I could bring, the big tent and the TV and everything else, because, it's a really good spot, and it also has cell service. Very interesting. It means you could bring the big screen TV and all kinds of stuff and go camping. That's pretty cool camping. I mean, I like some solo primitive camping from time to time, usually in the fall when the weather's cold, but I don't know. I like to, when it's really hot or really cold, have you a nice little place to come back and hang out. So I need to get my chainsaw. I've got him right there. I guess I need to get my chainsaw and cut this puppy. I guess I probably technically could roll over it, but that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to clear a nice clean path and clean it all up and get the garbage and all that kind of stuff. And then here in a few more weeks at this point, it's a matter of weeks now, all the vegetation, will begin to drop, and I will have me a really, really nice camp spot in a really great place. And not only for myself, but anyone who wants to use it will be able to use it. And this area down here, I've mentioned this before in other places, this is part of a floodplain here. We have the Tug River right there, and where you have, West Virginia, Kentucky, you have mountains, steep valleys with steep sides, on both sides of the river. And when it rains, the river comes up really fast. And so we have, the government, I guess you should say, has areas set aside that you can't use. It's sort of a no man's land, that it's not really used, and it's not really, they don't care if you use it, I mean, it's a riverbank, it's filled with trash. Anybody come down to clean it up, I don't really see the government having any kind of problem with somebody cleaning the riverbank up. But anyway, I won't be cutting any living trees. I want to leave the canopy intact. In the summertime, it blocks the sun. It'll be 15 degrees cooler down here than it will be out there, for example. And in the wintertime, it doesn't really have a whole lot of effect. The canopy, once the leaves drop and you've just got bare standing sticks, more or less, in the wintertime, it doesn't really, you still get good sunlight, is my point. They don't block the sunlight from your tent when it's cold. So, and poke right there. Somebody up on the 4-lane needs some exhaust work, don't they? That's a poke plant. I thought I'd show this to y'all real quick. A lot of y'all know this. It's edible. A lot of people eat this stuff. It's called poke, that's poke berries there. But you're not supposed to eat them when they're this big. You eat them when they're really little. The plant is said to be toxic. The berries right here, these little purple berries, are toxic. The purple skin, which it develops at, you know, adulthood, it peels right off. It's like skin, and it just comes right off there. But anyway, the skin is poisonous, and the roots, you know, they're toxic as well. To eat, not to touch. You know, I'm safe. I'm safe. I'm not eating none of it. But anyway, they used to use, old timers back at, you know, 100 years ago, used to use pokeberries to color paint. And they would make paint with pokeberries. And it works kind of like stain, you know. But you'd have to cut it with stuff unless you wanted a really purple house. You know, you'd have to mix something else in to change the color. But this gave you, pokeberries gave it a really nice, deep, rich look to it. So that was why they used that. I just thought I would show y'all that. And you can see how big the plants or the leaves get. They get huge. But when you see these in the spring, you know, little shoots, they're really good. You take the shoots and batter dip them, or, you know, flour dip them and fry them up in bacon grease. It's really good. It's like bacon flavored spinach. Of course, I guess just about anything you fry up in bacon grease is going to be pretty good, isn't it? All right, I need to quit running my mouth. I've got a lot of work to do today. And cut this one. I figure I'll cut him here and there, and I'll only have to move that piece and that piece. And that one I don't care about. Which, like I said, I could roll over that if I wanted to, but that's not the point. You know, I want it to, I'm trying to clear it out. I've got it, I've been moving rocks and all this stuff. Every time I come down, I move rocks, and been working on the trail a little bit. I've been down here about 3 or 4 times. No, about 5 or 6 times this summer. So I've done a little bit. And when I get done, once I get the Can-Am back down through there, I'll have me a nice little spot at the end of today if everything goes well. All right, I'm gonna get to work, guys. It's a little bit warm, about 90 today, and full sun out there, so I'll be sticking to the shade, luckily. Look there, little buck standing there looking at me. Looks like about a 4-point, something like that. I don't know if y'all can see him. I'll try to creep a little closer. Right in the center of the path. There he goes. I bet you see him now, don't you? Alright, guess what? I have made it all the way to where I wanted to get to. Right, here's the path that goes down to my fishing spot that I want to, you know, do some late night fishing at. And I've had to cut about 3 or 4 good sized trees, move them out of the way, and fill in 3 or 4 holes with sand and, you know, sticks on, you know, mixed in to keep it from sinking. And got about 4 piles of garbage started to be bagged up. You know, of course you can't get it all, you know, it's a riverbank, you know, you can't get all of it, but I can get what I can see, you know. I can get the parts that are on the trail and, you know, stacked it all up as I go and made it out here. Here we are. I've got the piles ready, and all I got to do now is bag them up. So win-win, right? Win-win situation. I'm still trying to decide which spot I actually want to clean, you know, for the tent. This spot over here is nice. This is nice. That's nice. This one over here is nice, but I like this one best because it's right on the trail, but it's got a lot of logs. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that I'll have to cut and move to have enough room. You know, just down stuff, not living stuff. You know, like I said, I'm not trying to cut any of the canopy. If it's alive, I want it to stay right where it's at. Anyway, I met a young man and his son up at the other spot where I was at. I don't know if I mentioned it or not. I don't think I did. Anyhow, we talked for about 10 minutes and, you know, was telling him a couple cool spots, and I told him about this spot right down here. Now, I'll show y'all a little bit later, you know, after they leave. They came down after I told them where it was at. They came down and they really like it. Said it's real pretty, you know. They're down there fishing right now. So I'll leave them, you know, to have their father and son time, you know, out fishing. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to interfere with that. You know, that's the kind of thing you'd like to see all fathers do. You know, take their kid fishing. But anyway, so they're down there fishing right now, and we'll leave them alone. And I went down, you know, just to say hi. I see you found it, you know, that kind of thing. They're down there fishing away right now. And I am getting ready to start moving some logs. You know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm going to go for the one I want the most. I like some of those, but I think I like that one better because it's right at the trail. The fishing spot is right here. Ooh, I bet I could clear me a path. Look at the cracks though in the sand. Dried up river sand. Got cracks all in it. That thing's 2-3 feet deep. But right down here is where I'll actually be fishing. Looks like I could go right through there pretty easily. Little machete. Looks like there's a little path already there almost. Cool. That would be even better. Bonus. I'm liking this spot even more. Let's see. Get this one. I guess I could leave that one. This got to go. That's got to go. The trash has got to go. Well, it's hot and I'm sweating, but I have a brand new campsite to come play in, and I can definitely see me having some adventures down here this fall and winter, you know. But the insulated tent right there, that'll work. I didn't have to level anything. All I had to do was take out some logs, down trees, gather up some garbage. I got 2 more piles of garbage, so that makes five piles altogether. This one over there, and 3 more on the trail. But check this out. Nice and level, nice and neat, no big sticks. Now the trail, typically, you know, the old trail how about that? It goes right down here and goes out to the rocks, but I figured since I want to sit right down here, right at my campsite, I took the machete and went through these old water weeds down here and cut me a path right straight down from the tent. Now I'm sure it'll weather better, you know, once I walk on it a little bit. But it was pretty level, except for one little spot right there. I already had the shovel with me, so I just slapped me a couple steps in there real quick. Piece of cake. Piece of cake. Took me maybe 5 minutes, 10 to do all of it. And look what I've got access to now. Direct access right out from my tent door. I can definitely see me having some adventures down here, can't you? This looks like it's got some definite potential. I came down here and fished once. I was up. What happened, I was fishing at another spot, one of my old ones, and there's a Facebook page called Friends of the Tug River. It's a Facebook group. And, you know, they're, you know, Tug River. But I met... They have a lot of contributors, and I met this one who does, you know, he kayaks a lot, and he's done a whole lot of, you know, take a depth finder, more trash down here where people fishing. We'll get that too. But he takes a depth finder, and he's done most of the Tug, and according to him, this is one of the deepest spots on the Tug River because of this. Now, I brought y'all up here about a week ago. I came down, you know, just fished for an afternoon, just goofing off, you know, try the water. And liked it, you know, obviously. Came back and put me in a camp spot. Look at that. This will be right outside my tent door. I've got shallows. Get out here, play in, fly fish, maybe bassing. Got nice deep water over here. Do some catfishing, maybe some carp. And have me a really nice little campsite right there. Nothing to it really, just a matter of, you know, cleaning up a little bit of trash and, you know, move some sticks, cut some weeds, and you've got a really cool place to go. I like campgrounds, you know, public campgrounds. They're nice, you know, don't get me wrong, I like them. But I prefer, you know, private you know, that kind of thing. It would go back up the old way, old trail. Anyhow, I prefer primitive camping myself, off to your, you know, you're alone, off to yourself, nobody else around. And this pretty much fits that bill. Of course, somebody fishes down here, because it looks like somebody's made some stairs, possibly last year or something. These were already here. I didn't do this. Those were already there going down to the rocks. I like mine better. And right there's the spot. Looks decent, don't it? And very interesting spot. Like I said, just right off the highway. Alright, I guess there's my trail going down. I guess I'm about ready. Start heading back out. I'll show y'all what I did on the way back out. Show you what I did coming in on the way back out. Got a train coming up too. You've got the highway here and then train tracks right on the other side of it. Heading same direction. But we are heading that way. Alright. Too many keys. Looks good, don't it? I can definitely see me having some adventures down here this fall and this winter. Alright. I started to go that way, but there's some really big cracks right there in the sand. Big holes in it. We'll go through the trees and into the kudzu. In case anybody's curious, yes, this is the easy way in. Look at that. Both sides. Very pretty on both sides. Totally different things, but both very pretty. There goes that deer. That buck, he ran by me a little while ago. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Where'd he go? I was moving some logs earlier. That's one of the spots I fixed right there, as a matter of fact. I don't see him anywhere. So they're real good at hiding. And they're pretty quick too. This was one I fixed. Filled in the sand here, Had deep holes. It's passable now. Probably should cut that one, but yeah. Check my light bar real quick. Okay, we're all right. Yeah, I think that limb's gonna have to go. He's a little bit too aggressive, ain't he? Coming up on some of the logs I had to cut right here. Tight fit, but we'll make it. Another log right there, had to cut. And of course this big one right here. This was where we started at, right here. But we ain't out yet. Rough spot. Very rocky. Bouldery, in fact. Go over them easy. A little bouldery here too. A little rock crawling. It's an interesting camp spot there now, isn't it? A little bit tricky to get to. You can see why you wouldn't want to carry tents and diesel heaters and all that kind of junk up through there now though, right? A little bit too far. Look how pretty this place is. This one's a pretty popular fishing spot. The road's right there, the entrance. This one's a pretty popular fishing spot, but to be honest, I've caught some small catfish out of here, but I've never caught any big ones out of here. And you know, you wouldn't want to camp here anyway, you know. But alright, road's right up here. We are out, just like that. Look at the dust. Anyway guys, hopefully we'll get to camp up here real soon and take y'all out on a real adventure out here in the West Virginia woods by the riverbank. All right, I'm out of here, I guess. Head home. We'll see you guys next time. Y'all have a real good day. Theo out.